What's up, everyone? Ryan here, aka the Ryan Man. I'm still in the middle of my marathon. Like all these past episodes you've seen, I've just sat one sitting and just doing all this back to back. There's a bird over there eating something, eating a plank of wood. I don't know. Valessa is right now. Okay, she's hugging me because she's about to sacrifice herself. And I said at the end of the last episode, if she fucking wins herself against an army of suits of armor, well, you have to go back in that episode and fucking watch to see what I said. Well, we're moving on. I return it, and then she looks up at me and, oh, okay. I could probably, okay, that one took me by surprise. I'm still gonna honor my word. If she survives, everyone, you know what to do. You have my blessing because she earned it. She deserved it. She gets a prize. She will earn her. I think she just took a prize, but if that fucking happened, that what's happening now is me stuttering like an idiot as Sylvie and Ulrich literally dragged me across the bridge while I'm still going I live here now. Okay. Apparently, after telling her that I love her, I tell her to stay safe and survive.
Is that an order?
You know what? If you fucking beat that, I think I'd be too afraid to give. Wait, what? Yes. I'm giving you an order. Do not die. Earn your reward.
Then I guess I have no choice. I love you, Monarch. Never forget that. I'll see you in the atrium when this is all over.
I'm so glad I'm a nobody on the internet. I'm gonna thank the stars every day that I'm a nobody. Because otherwise, the crowd right now would be going wild with all the thoughts in their head. If I wasn't lazy at editing, right now the fucking furry artist community would be reacting like this to this scene. And we're back, because I probably didn't even edit. Because I'm lazy as shit, and what's the point? And a moment later, we're both off in opposite directions. But as we head towards the castle, I can't help but look back. I'm both worried and hopeful, as both sides are at war. I see this woman charge into a crowd of mindless, soulless monstrosities holding out her daggers. The sound of her stabbing the suits soon fills the air. They fall apart and hit the ground with loud thuds.
Come on, I could do this all day.
I'll commend the artist for at least trying to make her look vicious. One for the road, girl. Boop! Oh, that was fitting because she faded out. Oh no, I made my own heart feel heavy. Oh no. Oh no, what have I done? Oh no, now I feel sad. With a smirk on my face, I realize her victory is clear. We retreat into the castle, and the sight makes my jaw drop. The castle is hauntingly beautiful, like nothing I've seen before. As we venture forward, I can only hope that Pro was successful. The bell hasn't rung yet, but I have the utmost faith in Fort Same's abilities. Let out a deep sigh of relief. I'm here, in the castle. This is the end. Goodbye, bird. Eventually, Pro and Grizz's path lead them to a large hallway. Plenty of open space to fight and destroy the horde in pursuit of them. The distraction worked perfectly. Now they just had to deal with the company.
Pro, what weapons do you have?
You didn't bring any? Oh, thank God. He was just asking what he had. Oh, gee. Grizz readies his large warhammer.
Daggers. My favorite. Up close and personal.
He draws them and stands beside Grizz.
So, you've fought these things before?
Yeah, plenty of times. It'll be a piece of cake. Trust me.
Right.
A few moments pass, and the honor guard finally catches up with them. The horde seems to have tripled in size. Everything was going their way. At this rate, the monarch should have almost no opposition at all.
Be mindful of where you stand, Pro. If this hammer is good at anything, it's crowd control. I don't want to hit you while I'm fighting off the enemy.
Yeah, got it.
I'm getting chivalry
Stay low and
flashbacks.
out of your way.
Grizz nods as they stand side by side as the enemies fill the room.
Ready?
We're getting new art. Unless this was seen before, I have not. Ram's head. Fucking fitting and adorable. Pro gulps.
Let's do this.
Where are your daggers, son? They charge in the crowd and the fight begins. Pro makes sure to stay below shoulder height as Grizz swings his hammer. He takes out about 10 or more suits with every swing of that mighty weapon. Pro rolls on the floor, taking them out with precise stabs to the abdomen. Shattering like glass, the suits are falling at a rate that guarantees their victory. Both men pant from exertion as they fight what was hopefully their last fight. For peace in all of Alestia, all they had to do was prevail. As the crowd thins out, they press their backs against one another. The enemies may be swinging their swords, but they landed no hits.
So, this is what I was meant to do.
Fight? Yeah, cool.
Huh?
Grizz swings his hammer, taking out 10 more. Then, seconds later, they're back once again.
Back in Museo, I was ready to throw my life away. You know, to atone for what I did in the Triumvirate's name. I'm glad that I didn't. I was meant to end them, not myself.
Bro smiles at his ally.
I'm glad you made the right choice, then!
He lunges forward, continuing to kill the suits of armor. Grizz scoffs with a wide smile appealing on his face as he fights.
No, not me. It's all thanks to the Monarch.
The battle continues, but the enemy stood no chance. They were killing the suits faster than they entered the room. And after what seemed like an eternity, they entered no more. Pro falls to his knees, struggling to catch his breath. Even Grizz seems winded as well. What a thrilling dance that was, that I could not see. I had to use my imagination. However, as they learn moments later, it has not yet come to an end. Another group of hordes start making its way into the large hallway. They laugh. Of course this wouldn't be as easy as they thought. Charging in the crowd again, the fight continues, almost endless.
There's too many of them! We need to do something, and fast!
There's nothing we can do. Just stand your ground. Keep fighting.
The swings and stabs become weaker each passing moment. What was once a certain victory is now falling apart in the face of exertion. But they don't give up. Never accept defeat. Not until the very end. Never be game over! That was the first rule of any good gambler. And with their lives as chips on the table, they continue to play. The floor becomes a sea of white and gold in the wake of their rage. All they had to do was pray that they didn't drown in it. As their strength dwindled, they kept fighting, never giving up. That determination saw them through, right to the bitter end. Hal was completely surrounded, fighting to the best of his efforts. A one-on-one fight would be no problem, but this was too much. In total, there must be tens of thousands of honor guard here. Fighting with fists, he punches the suits of armor into pieces. He preferred to use his own body as a weapon, rather than anything else. Other people fought with extensions of their body, but he needed none of that. In this moment, Hal was thankful that all of his power remained intact. Had the monarch heeded his request, he would surely be close to death. Thankful for that fact, he fought on with every increasing sense of determination. Oh my god, I need to go back and actually finish Undertale. Oh my god. Dominic was nowhere to be seen, but Hal hoped that he was still alive. There were so many suits of armor that it was impossible to keep track. One stray arrow, one thrown dagger, one sneak attack, and it was all over. As he punched through the suits of armor, he finally saw an ally. Changing the direction of his assault, he fought his way toward them. Greeting him with a smile, it was a relief to see a friendly face once again.
Howl, watch out!
Draku jumps behind Howl, taking out a suit armor that was sneaking up on him. Thanking his ally, Howl responded by doing the same, but behind Draku. No matter where they stood, there was always an enemy in pursuit of them. Arrows fly overhead every few seconds. The enemy archers were skilled. Hal couldn't see, but he knew that these arrows would hit homes on his allies. With his back pressed against Draku, their rears are finally protected.
Status report, Draku. How are your men doing?
We are fucked!
Not good, unfortunately. There's just too many of those suits, Howl. All we can really do is wait for that bell to ring.
But, for whom
And
the
if
bell
it doesn't?
tolls. Draku lunges forward, taking out several suits of armor. Then a moment later, he presses his back against Howl again.
Then we die with honor. We fight to the bitter end.
The despair in his voice was clear. They could keep fighting, but things were looking bad. Even if each man killed 100 suits, they'd still be outnumbered. Hal shakes his head, freeing himself from the onslaught of ash. The library, still ablaze, rained remnants of the monarchy upon them. The honor guard seemed unimpeded by this, but not the rebellion. It was almost as if the suits fought together. They shared one mind. This caused them to be weak on their own, but formidable as a group. However, it meant that the more they killed, the weaker their enemy became.
Do not give up so easily, Draku. You rule Alarinthia, the strongest nation in the world. You cannot afford to return home with stories of lost hope.
As they talk, they keep fighting. The enemy doesn't let up for a second.
Then let's find it again. And fast.
Arrows fly through the air once more, and screams fill the air. They knew their forces were dying. The suits had no need to scream. Hal wasn't even sure if they felt pain, or feared their own demise. And he wondered if those things would be a weakness or a strength. His knuckles became bloody and cracked as they fought for their lives. They continued to protect each other, fighting as if they were one body.
We cannot stay like this forever. They'll find a way to outsmart us.
They don't need to outsmart you, dude. It's like you are literally fighting a horde of zombies. They just have their numbers and just their tirelessness. That's what it comes down to. That's how people get overrun by hordes. Draku didn't respond.
Draku?
Draku shakes his head and pants heavily.
Sorry, just needed a breather. I haven't had a fight like this in ages.
Most of your fights are very low scale when you think about it. Hal nods, agreeing with his ally.
I'm afraid that we must part ways, though. The same strategy is only effective for so long.
Yes, of course. That same tactic won me many Colosseum battles. Good luck, Howl. And take a few out for me.
With a smile, Draku runs and disappears into a crowd of suits. Hal wouldn't have time to say goodbye, even if he wanted to. He stands there, alone once more, with nothing else to do but fight. All he can do is face the enemy, and his fate head on. Charging into the crowd with a scream, rage wells up within him. There are no allies to be seen, just target after target waiting to be killed. And that's what happens next. He shatters the enemies like weak glass. They fall to the ground, leaving a trail of carnage in his wake. He had killed more than his fair share, and still went on. Eventually a barrage of arrows assaults him. Piercing through his torso, he grunts in immense pain. However, the pain was minimal compared to the pain he normally felt. He pulls out the arrows and throws them down on the ground. Blood spills from the wounds, but he shows no signs of pain. Such wounds would do nothing to a body powered by the monarchy. All he had to do was fight until the bell was rung. But that was a question on everyone's minds right now. With such immense tasks before him, would 14 succeed? It seemed that right now, almost everything lay in his hands. Hal fought ruthlessly, hoping to hear the bell and find relief. But with each passing second, the hope within him dwindled. Oh shit, so how's Dominic doing? He's supposed to also be here. Meanwhile, our boy Fortame, he pants heavily, panicking with an arrow in his side. He knew that if he pulled it out, things would only get worse. It would be best to keep it inside until he could find some help. It wouldn't be fatal, so that gave him great relief on its own. Hiding in a spare room he found, he needed to take a breather. It was perfect timing as Suits started to scurry around outside.
It can't be too far away. How high up does this castle even go?
He shakes his head, realizing that there was only one way to find out. But as he goes to sneak out of the room, he bumps into a table. A bottle of wine, probably that one, falls off the side and shatters with an echo. His entire body tenses up as he hears the honor guard stop moving. He runs to the other side of the room and hides behind a curtain. Oh, it would have been easy to sneak around them if not for the wine. Now, every single suit of armor in that hallway would know he's there. He remains as still as possible as one of them enters the room to scout. The suit kneels down to inspect the broken glass, then looks over to the curtain. His cover was blown. He made a small trail of wine with his footsteps. He holds his breath as the suit armor makes his way to his location. Then, a few moments later, it plunges a sword right into the curtain. Fortune dodges to the left, then rips the curtain down from the wall. Wrapping around the suit armor, he has in a strong chokehold. He hesitates for a few moments, then snaps his enemy's neck. How do you snap the neck of an enemy that has no neck? You mean he ripped the helmet off? The suit crumbles, but has nowhere to fall, being held together by the curtain. He slowly rested on the ground. This was his first real fight. His first kill. I'm proud of my boy! If he survived to ring that bell, he knew he would never be the same. He slowly unravels the curtain and grabs the sword belonging to the suit. As soon as he does, more of the men are in the room to check up on their ally. Fortune wondered if they felt emotion, if they mourned the suit he killed. They drew their swords, but Fortune wasn't sure what promoted it. Anger at their dead ally, or perhaps blind loyalty to the triumvirate. He'd never know, and in that moment he realized it was for the best. Swords clashed against sword, and he fought for his life. But not just his, almost everybody else's lives were at stake too. They were relying on him to ring that bell, and he couldn't let them down. All he had to do was survive. Jesus Christ! Who else could he possibly be checking up on? When we get in... Okay, we're back to us. When we get inside the castle, I notice it's completely empty. I'm filled with hope. Pearl must have been successful with his distraction. Otherwise, this place would be teeming with those suits of armor. All we had to do was make our way to the top and take them down. With the triumvirate dead and that bell rung, victory was ours. I cross my fingers, hoping that 14's travels are going well. They are not!
Wow. I haven't been to this place in ages. It doesn't look any different, though. Just as uninviting. We want to go right up those stairs, Monarch. This is it.
My god, if Sylvie also wasn't here, it'd literally just be Ulrich and I. Oh, we have one more obstacle. I just remembered him. I nod. He was right. This was the end of our journey. After everything I've been through, I was finally in their castle. I started walking towards the stairs. My next actions were clear.
Hey, not so fast. You should let me take point. I know the layout of this castle and where to go. It gets a bit confusing up there. Trust me on that.
Confusing? How so?
Lots of stairs. I hope you're okay with that. And be careful. We don't want to fall into a trap. This place is massive. It would be easy to ambush us.
Not a second later, somebody enters the room from the opposite side. It's that man from our HQ, the one with Sophie, clad in white and gold. He descends the stairs, laughing at us. A horde of suits follows.
Ambush? No, I don't play cheap, not like Sophie. I'd merely like to call this a welcoming party of sorts. An ambush is unexpected. Surely you knew I'd be here.
I unsheathe my blade and hold it out toward our enemy. There's no time to argue semantics with the likes of him. But, as if to guard me, Ulrich and Sophie step forward, getting in the way.
Halen, don't you think it's time you gave up? You've been bound to their will, following orders for so long. Let us remove that curse. We can give you your freedom back.
Freedom back? Did he ever have freedom to begin with? Clearly an act. Sophie wanted Halen dead. That and he could never agree. He was under their thrall. A moment later, Halen disappears into a crowd of suits.
Freedom? I don't need freedom. I exist to serve the Triumvirate, and that is final. You did too, but you threw it away in your folly.
The suits of armor reach the bottom of the stairs, but Halen's nowhere to be seen. We just hear his voice. He must have used the confusion of the crowd to escape.
You stand in the realm of gods now. It is time you spoke with your resolve. If it is strong enough, then you will find me.
The honor guard draws their swords as Halen's laughter fills the room.
And if it is not, then you will perish. So do it. Show me the determination of your rebellion. Speak against your gods and see how they answer.
At Halen's command, the honor guard charges in our direction. Sophie and Ulrich are the first to fight, making sure that I'm protected. But I make sure to play my part and take them down with similar ease. The suits of armor stand no chance against the Blade of Exodus. The same can be said of Ulrich's greatsword and Sophie's fists. I'm confident in our victory, but I try not to get too cocky. It seemed like there was almost 1,000 suits of armor here. Though we were doing good now, our bodies could easily weaken. A viable tactic: wear out your enemy with excessive numbers. As we fight, we find ourselves surrounded more and more. The honor guard seem to have almost herded us to a specific location. I stand back to back with Sophie and Ulrich, and we're all panting heavily.
Ulrich, put away your sword.
Why?
Huh?
Huh?
Don't you remember?
They both look at me. Oh, I can just suck up their weird soul things into the blade.
Yeah, of course.
Right? That's what the plan is, right? Why are you two looking at me like that? He sheathes his massive blade as the suits close in on us.
Monarch, open your mind to us. Treat us as extensions of your body.
Excuse you? I'm confused, but okay. We need to take action, and now. I lunge forward and destroy one of the suits.
Good. Now it's my turn.
Hmm? Oh, shit! We're going to take turns destroying suits of armor with the blade, thus powering the blades from that suit of armor. Literally one at a time. I mean, okay, right? Is that what this is? He does the same as me and destroys several suits. As if passing a baton, Ulrich is up next, swinging the blade.
It's been too long, Sovi.
Then, almost instantaneously, it's back in my hands, and I keep fighting. We're pressed back to back, exchanging the blade with our power. Phasing it from one person is needed. We're almost one mind.
Yes, really gets my blood boiling.
As if as a integrally choreographed dance, we continue to fight. In this moment, we really did command the blade. We were its owners. I feel unstoppable, but then I realize, could the Triumvirate do this as well? If they could, then we're in for a difficult fight. It's just going to be a literal fight of everyone, like, stealing the sword from each other. Like a lightsaber duel between people, like, using their mind Jedi things to turn off each other's blades. Lightsaber things, whatever.
Over here!
I let Ulrich take the blade as we continue passing it around. It isn't much longer until the horde is thinned out. We're winning! This is true teamwork, unlike anything I've seen in my entire life.
Monarch, look out!
I take back the blade and destroy the suits in front of me. Their numbers have easily halved in just a few short minutes. At this rate, we'd be free to take those stairs in any second.
They mean to kill us with mindless slaves. I wish they had the courage to meet us face to face.
Oh, they're just winding us. The Triumvirate must have been scared. I could feel it. In the end, all tyrants have left to do is cower in fright. Whatever game they were planning would soon be over. We continue our dance until the last suit of armor has fallen. Though we're reduced to exhausted messes, we had won. Taking deep breaths, we try to regain our composure.
So, up we go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I phase the blade back into my hands and sheath it. Looking toward the stairs, it seems our next goal is clear. When we got up there, we make him regret taunting us. How the fuck was that fight supposed to go if I didn't bring Sovi with me? We make our way upstairs in pursuit of Halen. That would just happen. I'd certain we'd win this. With our strength combined, nothing could stand in our way. Until something stood in our way. Where am I now? The first thing I see is stairs. Lots of stairs. They lead upwards and in every conceivable direction. I know I was told there'd be lots of stairs, but this is insane. The second thing I notice is a complete lack of Halen. Had he fleed up those staircases? Where could he be? Actually, I'm starting to wonder how he disappeared like that. If he was made from the blade, could he phase around as well? I hope that's not the case. That would prove far too tricky. However, due to his loyalty, I knew we'd be in for a fight. Destroyed suits of armor and their swords line the floor. This must have been the remnant of a previous fight. Perhaps Fortune and Pro came here before us?
Be careful, Monarch. Try not to let Halen steal the blade from you. Remember, we all possess the same ability.
Yeah, make sure to be on your guard. We killed his suit, so he's probably scared. I wouldn't be surprised if he resorts to trickery.
I nod. That was good advice. I take it to heart as we walk towards the stairs. We hear Halen's voice, but can't see him at all.
Well then, perhaps you're stronger than I thought. No matter, though. I've been waiting for a worthy opponent. I'll savor killing you, Monarch. Every single moment.
You know what, dude? I hope there is a choice of whether or not I need to kill you or not. I don't care what it fucking does to my purity corruption thing. I'm just gonna fucking kill this dude. I mean, I left the Shane dude alive. That's probably gonna bite me in the ass. I can at least kill one freak. That's when I finally see him. on one of the many flights of stairs. He's slowly making his way down, almost as if he's buying some time. I move to meet him halfway, but suddenly there's no need to move at all.
Monarch, look out!
Almost instinctively, I lower myself as close to the ground as possible. From behind, a massive sword is swung. It came close to removing my head. I turn around, greeted the sight of Halen. So he can move around like that.
Saved by your friends, as always. I wonder how you'd handle things on your own. What do you say? Want to put that to the test?
Fuck it. I'll bite. You gonna actually fight like a man? You wanna call in some of your fucking husk friends? Or you wanna phase around the room like your psycho mantis? Ulrich steps forward, interrupting before I can respond.
We don't have time for your games, Halen. We will give you one chance. Surrender or die.
And who says you get to call the shots? Remember, I exist to manifest the Triumvirate's will, and right now, what they want is to see you all dead.
Halen draws another sword, holding out two large blades.
I've never let them down, and I don't plan on starting. You think you're special? That you're here to seize your destiny? No. You're nothing more than another insect for me to crush.
Special? I'm here so I can go the fuck home!
You may have made it farther than most, but it doesn't matter. Even atop the highest mountain, an insect is still an insect. A being that exists for one purpose. To be exterminated!
I dig the music in the background right now. He charges towards me, and I do the same. Pulling out the Blade of Exodus, our swords clash as we meet. They meet again and again, the echo filling the room as we fight. His strength is astounding as well as his speed. I've never seen a man fight with two swords quite so gracefully. But then again, he's not really a man, he's a thing made by the blade. He tries to trick me with fake swings and sudden movements. But he'll have to try harder than that. I counter him with ease. This dance continues as we show no signs of tiring out. At this rate, death would come to whoever slipped up first. We do this the Navy way. The first one to die loses! But I can't slip up. I have to win and take down the Triumvirate. This world belonged to me! Might want to dial this line back! Haley was just a lackey to some power-hungry group of three. If there was any justice in the world, then I would prevail. Perhaps I would let that... Perhaps I let that get to my head. This allows Halen to land a blow. Thrusting his blade into my shoulder, he twists it and pulls out. It was a wound that proved to be harmless, but in the long run, it was the pain was so intense, all I can do is stand there, stiff and motionless. My blood drifts to the floor, and I take a few steps back, losing balance.
Monarch!
Sylvie lunges forward and pushes me to the ground. Phasing the blade into his hand, he blocks Halen's next attack. I bleed on the floor as I watch Sylvie fight his former apprentice.
There's something different about you, Sylvie. Where was this passion when we worked together?
Swords continue to clash, and Halen is right. I've never seen Sylvie so determined.
The Triumvirate doesn't allow passion, Halen. They take everything away. They bleed you dry and offer nothing in return. Nothing but empty words. The rebellion gave me a place in this world. I belong to them now.
You mean they seduced you with flights of fancy? You honestly believe that he is our rightful ruler?
Sylvie nods.
Without a doubt. I'd give my life for the Monarch. I know the truth of the Spirit Realm. The Triumvirate told me. This isn't some dream or fantasy. They told me themselves.
Halen seems surprised, as if he still trusts Sylvie.
You mean?
Yes, that's what they told me before we left from Azeo. It's why I didn't kill the Monarch when I had the chance. I told myself I'd never harm those in charge of this world. That's what separates the both of us, Halen. My loyalty is to Alestia. Yours is to the Triumvirate. They made you a slave with no choice but to obey.
No, I want to serve them. Your faith was challenged, and you gave up. I'm not that weak. I stand tall and remain in line.
Like a cock! Sylvie lowers the blade, signaling his intent to stop fighting.
Then let the Monarch remove the curse they've put on you. If you still want to serve them, then we can continue to fight. And if not, then you'll realize that you were wrong all along.
Oh, shit. Well, fuck. Am I really gonna actually have a choice if I'm killing this dude or not? Because now I'm thinking... like, oh, fuck. Hela reacts with anger to that last part and charges towards Sylvie. They're fighting again, just when things started to turn around.
No, I'm not wrong. I'll never give up, Sylvie. Never. If you want to pay with your life, then I'll accept that toll. But know this. It brings me no pleasure to...
And a moment later, Sylvie thrusts the blade through Halen's gut. Sylvie looks horrified as he harms his former apprentice and friend. No turning back. This was the exact moment his defection was complete. Well, like, Sylvie just made that decision. Okay. Okay. Dude dies. Okay.
Sylvie.
Halen grunts in pain as Sylvie removes the blade. A horrific wound, but I don't think it would be enough. How the fuck would that not be enough? Created from the blade, Halen was surely resilient.
Halen, I'm sorry. I didn't want it to be this way.
I can hear such sadness in his voice. He's conflicted. Looking down at the floor, so he shakes as he watches Halen bleed out. A moment later, he falls backwards, and so he catches him in his arms. On the verge of tears, so he turns Haley around. Lowering him to the ground, he puts him in a strong chokehold. Halen struggles, trying to escape, but the wound rendering him too weak.
Monarch, do something! I don't care what it is, just do it!
I look over at Ulrich, and he watches in shock. I know that wound wouldn't kill Halen, just temporarily incapacitate him. Sylvie must have known, but the sight and what he did was still too much for him. There's no way Halen could fight back right now. I could kill him with no difficulty at all, but I could save him. What, like remove like the curse or whatever was placed on him? It's weird because he's like not a natural dude. If I remove the curse on his mind, maybe he'd serve our cause instead. But was it worth the risk? Something tells me I don't have much time to decide. If Sylvie held him like that for too long, he'd be dead for sure. Well, shit! Maybe I should risk it rather than kill him. Maybe? Maybe. The way it's worded, like, oh, should I try to save him, sounds like that. It sounds like what a normal human being would try to fucking do. You know what? If I have to kill him, it's going to be after he has control over his own brain, where he then makes his own decision. We will at least give the motherfucker a chance first. I had to liberate Halen. I had to let him survive and give him a chance. If he wanted to still fuck around and find out, then he's gonna fuck around and find out. If he still chose to oppose us, then we could execute him. But as long as his conversion was a possibility, I had to take a chance. I tell Sylvie to release the chokehold, but hold Halen in place. He obeys without hesitation, and I slowly make my way over to him. Pressing the blade against Halen's chest, I ask him to give him his freedom. A few seconds later, Halen falls to the ground unconscious. I have him carried over to a safe spot where he could recover in silence. And if and when he woke up, I hope that would be as a new, smarter man. With that out of the way, we had to make our way up those stairs. With a few more minutes, I'd be face to face with our enemy. It was time to rise to the challenge and change this world.
You know what? I'll stay behind. Pro and Fortum should be at the atrium any minute now. I want to make sure I'm there to greet them and fill them in.
Right. So it's just going to be Sylvie and I doing this final battle. Makes some sense. Sylvie what used to be on their side, and you know.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's not my place to face the Triumvirate. Not again. This fight belongs to the both of you. So go and see it through.
Well, shit. Power of friendship. We both nod at him, and he makes his way back to the atrium. On his way out, he picks up a sword from the ground. So he scoffs and does the same thing soon after.
A good idea, actually. Something tells me we'll be fighting even more. Say, can you do me one favor before we head up?
What's up? I nod.
Here. Just trust me.
He reaches behind me and adjusts my scabbard. I'm not sure why, but he switches it to the other side. I'm not left-handed, so that only made things awkward. But I choose to trust him.
Thank you.
Oh my god, wasn't it a choice at the beginning of this game of how I handled my weapons? And a second later, we're making our way up to the stairs. All we had to do was to throw in the triumvirate. Simple enough. After that, I meet my friends in the atrium. At least, the ones that survived. I'm ending the episode there.